Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the annals of time, unraveling the mysteries of our shared human experience. Today, we find ourselves at the threshold of a pivotal moment in history, one that would shape the fate of empires and leave an indelible mark on the landscape of Europe. I speak, of course, of the Battle of Adrianople, a clash of titans that took place on a fateful day in August 378 AD. As we delve into the origins of this epic struggle, let us first set our sights on the strategic city of Adrianople. Nestled in the heart of Thrace, a region of immense cultural and military significance. This ancient metropolis, with its storied history dating back to the days of the Roman Empire, was a prized possession, coveted by the great powers of the time. The city's unique position, situated near the confluence of the Tanzos and Maritsa rivers, made it a crucial stronghold for the Roman army, while its rich resources and fertile lands made it an attractive prize for the Visigoths. To understand the precursors to this battle, we must journey back in time to the mid-4th century AD, when the Roman Empire was grappling with the challenges of maintaining its vast territories. The empire's borders were under constant pressure from various barbarian tribes, including the Visigoths, who had been making incursions into Roman territory since the 3rd century AD. In 376 AD, a large group of Visigoths, led by Alatheus and Saphrax, crossed the Danube River and entered Roman territory, seeking refuge from the Huns. The Roman Emperor Valens, who ruled from Constantinople, initially granted them permission to settle within the empire. But the relationship between the Romans and the Visigoths was complex and often tense. The Visigoths had been seeking to establish a foothold within the Roman Empire, driven by a desire for land, resources, and security. They had been making overtures to the Roman authorities, seeking to negotiate a settlement that would grant them autonomy and protection. However, their efforts were rebuffed by the Roman emperor, who saw them as a threat to his authority and the stability of the empire. The situation was further complicated by the fact that many Visigoths had converted to Christianity, which created tensions with the Roman authorities, who viewed them as heretics. As we explore the precursors to the Battle of Adrianople, it becomes clear that the conflict was not simply a clash between two armies, but rather a complex web of political, social, and economic factors. The Roman Empire, with its vast bureaucracy and intricate network of alliances, was struggling to maintain order in a world where the traditional certainties were rapidly unraveling. The city of Adrianople itself played a crucial role in the events leading up to the battle, as it was a key stronghold for the Roman army and a vital center of trade and commerce. In the months leading up to the battle, tensions between the Romans and the Visigoths continued to escalate. In July 378 AD, the Visigoths, who had been encamped near Adrianople, began to move towards the city, seeking to capture it and gain control of the surrounding region. The Roman Emperor Valens, who had been gathering his forces in Constantinople, marched towards Adrianople, determined to crush the Visigoth threat once and for all. And so, dear listeners, we find ourselves at the threshold of this pivotal moment, with the precursors to the Battle of Adrianople laid bare before us. The stage is set, the players are in position, and the drama is about to unfold. Join me, if you will, as we venture forth into the very heart of the Battle of Adrianople, where heroes rise and fall. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, where we're exploring the epic Battle of Adrianople, a pivotal moment in history that would shape the fate of empires and leave an indelible mark on the landscape of Europe. As we now witness the climax of this epic struggle, let us immerse ourselves in the sights and sounds of the battlefield. The Roman army, led by Emperor Valens, was a formidable force, with its disciplined legions and seasoned veterans. However, the Visigoths, led by Alatheus and Saphrax, were a fierce and determined foe, driven by their desire for land, resources, and security. The battle itself was a chaotic and brutal affair, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. The Romans, with their traditional tactics of forming testudo, or tortoise, formations, initially held the upper hand. However, the Visigoths, with their mobility and archery, were able to exploit the weaknesses in the Roman lines, gradually gaining the ascendancy. As the day wore on, the heat of the Thracian sun beat down upon the combatants, sapping their strength and testing their resolve. The Romans, weighed down by their heavy armor, began to tire, while the Visigoths, with their lighter equipment, were able to maintain a faster pace. The turning point came when the Visigoth cavalry, led by Alatheus, launched a devastating charge against the Roman flank, shattering the legions and sending them into disarray. The Roman Emperor Valens, realizing that the battle was lost, attempted to flee the field, but was struck by an arrow and killed. His body was never recovered, and his death marked the end of an era for the Roman Empire. The Visigoths, victorious but exhausted, claimed the city of Adrianople as their own, and began to establish a new order in the region. This pivotal moment in history had far-reaching consequences, as the Battle of Adrianople marked the beginning of the end of the Western Roman Empire. The loss of life was staggering, with estimates suggesting that up to 20,000 Roman soldiers perished on the battlefield. The Visigoths, on the other hand, had secured a vital foothold within the empire, and would go on to play a major role in shaping the course of European history. In the aftermath of the battle, the Visigoths began to establish their own kingdom, with its capital in Toulouse. They developed a unique culture, blending Roman and Germanic traditions, and established trade and diplomatic relations with other European powers. The legacy of the Battle of Adrianople can still be seen today, in the modern-day borders of Europe, and in the enduring cultural heritage of the Visigoths. The consequences of this epic struggle would be felt for centuries to come, shaping the destiny of nations and forging the course of human history. Join me next time on History with Herodotus, as we explore more pivotal moments in the grand tapestry of human experience. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, where we're exploring the epic Battle of Adrianople, a pivotal moment in history that would shape the fate of empires and leave an indelible mark on the landscape of Europe. As we now navigate the decline of the Western Roman Empire, it becomes clear that the Battle of Adrianople marked a turning point in the annals of history. The loss of up to 20,000 Roman soldiers on the battlefield had a devastating impact on the empire's military strength, leaving it vulnerable to future attacks. The Visigoths, having secured a vital foothold within the empire, would go on to play a major role in shaping the course of European history. In the years that followed, the Western Roman Empire struggled to recover from the blow dealt by the Battle of Adrianople. The Emperor Theodosius I, who ruled from 378 to 395 AD, attempted to restore order and stability, but the empire was ultimately divided into eastern and western halves, with the former surviving for another 1,000 years as the Byzantine Empire. The Visigoths, meanwhile, established their own kingdom in Gaul, with its capital in Toulouse. They developed a unique culture, blending Roman and Germanic traditions, and established trade and diplomatic relations with other European powers. The legacy of the Battle of Adrianople can still be seen today, in the modern-day borders of Europe, and in the enduring cultural heritage of the Visigoths. As the Western Roman Empire continued its decline, other barbarian groups began to make their mark on European history. The Vandals, for example, would go on to sack Rome in 455 AD, while the Ostrogoths would establish their own kingdom in Italy. The Battle of Adrianople had unleashed a chain reaction of events that would shape the destiny of nations and forge the course of human history. The historian Ammianus Marcellinus, who lived through this tumultuous period, wrote that the Battle of Adrianople was a disaster of such magnitude that it can hardly be described in words. His account provides a vivid glimpse into the chaos and devastation that followed the battle, as the Roman Empire struggled to come to terms with its newfound weakness. In conclusion, the Battle of Adrianople marked a watershed moment in European history, one that would have far-reaching consequences for centuries to come. The decline of the Western Roman Empire, the rise of barbarian groups, and the shaping of modern-day borders all owe a debt to this pivotal moment in time. As we reflect on the significance of this event, we're reminded that the course of human history is often shaped by the unpredictable nature of conflict and the resilience of human societies. Join me next time on History with Herodotus as we delve into the fascinating world of ancient civilizations and uncover the secrets of the past. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.